The temple of Apollo was bathed in golden twilight when the three sisters arrived. They were not ordinary women. Their eyes shone with a light that didn't belong to this world, and when they walked, the very air around them seemed to vibrate with invisible energy.
"Clotho,"
whispered the eldest Atropos, her voice echoing through the marble columns.
"show him what he means to see."
The young priestess Clotho approached the golden loom that occupied the center of the temple. It wasn't an ordinary loom. The threads she wove glowed like stars, and each one pulsed with its own life.
"See, mortal,"
said Clotho, addressing the young philosopher who had come seeking answers about destiny.
"Each thread represents a life, a soul, a consciousness."
The young man approached, mesmerized.
But they're all connected?
Lachesis, the middle sister, smiled mysteriously.
"Watch carefully."
Clotho delicately touched a golden thread in the left corner of the loom. Instantly, as if an invisible wave had crossed the entire tapestry, hundreds of other threads began to vibrate and glow.
"Impossible,"
murmured the young man, his eyes widening.
"How can a thread in Greece affect another in Persia?"
"Because,"
explained Atropos, her voice laden with ancestral wisdom,
"everything that exists is intertwined in the great web of existence. When a soul feels pain in Athens, another soul in India awakens with compassion. When someone has a thought of love in Rome, another heart opens in Alexandria."
The young philosopher touched his own forehead, as if a revelation was being born.
"So, our minds—"
"Your subconscious mind
interrupted Clotho, her fingers dancing over the luminous threads,
is like this loom. It's constantly weaving invisible connections with all other consciousnesses. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel sends waves through the cosmic web."
Lachesis approached the young man and placed her hand over his heart.
"Feel."
Suddenly, the young man could perceive, as if a veil had been removed from his eyes. He felt the emotions of distant people, the dreams of children in faraway lands, the fears and hopes of souls he had never met.
"This is—"
he stammered, tears welling in his eyes.
"This is the quantum entanglement of consciousness. And when you learn to master this connection, when you understand how to pull the right threads of reality..."
Clotho made a graceful gesture with her hands, and the loom's threads began to reorganize, creating more beautiful and harmonious patterns.
"You can make the entire universe conspire in your favor."
Have you ever felt a strong connection to someone miles away, like an invisible cord tying your emotions together? That's no coincidence. It could be your subconscious tapping into the same quantum forces that entangle particles across the universe. This video will show you how that works, why science and spirituality both hint at its truth, and how you can consciously unlock these quantum connections in your own life. Get ready to feel the universe's interconnectedness like never before. Imagine two particles sitting billions of miles apart. One is on Earth, and the other is drifting near the edge of the galaxy. Yet, if you touch one particle, the other reacts instantly, as though no distance separates them. This isn't science fiction, it's the mind-bending phenomenon of quantum entanglement. Even the great Albert Einstein struggled with it, calling it spooky action at a distance because it seemed to defy every rule of space, time, and causality as we know it. To understand why Einstein found this so unsettling, let's rewind. Classical physics, the physics of Newton and the everyday world, painted a picture of the universe as neatly ordered. In this view, every object exists independently, moving according to fixed rules. But in the strange world of quantum mechanics, particles don't behave like tiny billiard balls. They exist in states of pure potential, waves of possibility, until you observe or measure them. When two particles become entangled, They form a link so profound that their properties are no longer separate. No matter how far apart these particles travel in space, their states remain correlated. Change something about one particle, and the other reflects that change instantly. Still, Einstein believed the universe couldn't work this way. It was too illogical, too chaotic. He thought there must be hidden variables at play, tiny bits of information embedded in each particle that established their connection locally. But then came John Bell, a physicist who developed a groundbreaking mathematical proof in the 1960s to test Einstein's idea. Bell's theorem demonstrated that if the hidden variable theory were true, there'd be certain limits to how synchronized these particles could behave when measured. Later experiments showed that these limits didn't exist. Entangled particles weren't just communicating locally, they acted in harmony beyond the constraints of time and space itself. It's like rolling a pair of dice. If the dice were entangled, you could roll one on Earth and the other on Mars, and they would still land on the exact same number every time. There's no way to explain this through hidden wires or signals traveling back and forth. Instead, it suggests something even more profound. The particles aren't separate objects at all. They're part of the same unified system, no matter the physical distance between them. This discovery shakes up one of the most deeply held ideas in science, the notion of an objective, independent reality. In our classical understanding, the universe operates like a large machine, where everything holds its own place. But quantum entanglement suggests the opposite. It hints that the fabric of existence is woven together, connected in ways that defy traditional explanations. It's as if everything we observe is entangled to some degree, part of a vast, invisible network operating on principles we're only beginning to glimpse. Now, what if this strange property wasn't limited to particles? What if our own thoughts and emotions are connected to the same web, bound in networks we can't yet measure, but that influence us and the world around us? The parallels are intriguing. Just as two particles can interact without a direct line of communication, researchers have noted how certain human experiences produce unexplainable synchronicities. Have you ever thought of someone, only for them to call or text moments later? It's easy to dismiss as coincidence, but quantum entanglement teaches us that unseen interconnections may be more common than we realize. What's more, this concept of non-separation offers more than scientific marvel. It opens an entirely new perspective on how we live. If the universe is fundamentally interconnected, it's worth considering whether our consciousness interacts with this web, shaping possibilities into reality. It raises profound questions about the role of our intentions, beliefs, and emotions within this vast quantum field, and perhaps surprising is how much power this places in our hands. Because if particles separated by galaxies can remain connected, then the gap between your inner world and the outer universe might not be as wide as it seems. Could our thoughts ripple outward through this field of entanglement, influencing the reality we create? That's where the real mystery begins. What if your subconscious mind isn't just an observer, but an active force, shaping the reality you experience every day? This might sound far-fetched, but when you take a closer look, the way the subconscious operates starts to resemble the principles of quantum systems in fascinating ways. Let's begin with how it processes information. Unlike your conscious mind, which handles direct, logical thinking, your subconscious works quietly in the background, taking in vast amounts of data and forming connections. It's constantly running programs, deeply ingrained beliefs, emotions, and habits that determine how you interpret and respond to the world, often without you realizing it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In quantum physics, there's something called the observer effect. This is the phenomenon where particles behave differently when observed, as though the act of focusing attention on them changes their state. It's as if the particles are influenced by the observer's presence, moving from being possibilities to taking on defined outcomes. Remarkably, this mirrors how our subconscious mind influences outcomes in daily life based on what we focus on. Think of it this way. When you direct attention toward a particular goal, fear, or hope, your subconscious starts to filter your experiences through that lens. The thoughts you dwell on ripple through your internal programming, shaping the way you perceive and interact with the world around you. For instance, let's say you've always believed that money is hard to come by. That belief, lodged deep within the subconscious, acts like a running algorithm. Without consciously realizing it, you might avoid opportunities or make choices that reinforce the narrative of scarcity. Your mind essentially observes a reality that matches your inner program. On the flip side, when you reprogram that belief, say by focusing on abundance and opportunity, you begin to see evidence of those possibilities in your life. Like particles adjusting under observation, your reality starts to realign with the new signals your subconscious is emitting. But how does this reprogramming work? Researchers have found that tools like meditation and visualization are particularly effective at accessing and reshaping the subconscious mind. During meditation, for instance, the brain shifts into deeper frequencies such as theta and delta, states that are ideal for planting new ideas into the subconscious. Meditation effectively quiets the critical conscious mind, creating a space where you can introduce empowering thoughts or feelings like gratitude, love, or success, and begin to integrate them into your inner framework. Neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza explains it this way: thoughtful. When you generate a thought, it creates a chemical reaction in the brain, which in turn triggers a corresponding emotion, and that emotion strengthens the thought. Over time, this cycle can solidify a state of being, whether it's positive or negative. So by consciously choosing uplifting thoughts and pairing them with elevated emotions like joy or appreciation, you begin to alter the subconscious programs running beneath the surface. Visualization works in a complementary way. This is where you use your imagination to picture a specific outcome, a promotion at work, a harmonious relationship, or improved health, as if it has already happened. The key isn't just to see the end result, but to feel it, engaging all your senses to make the experience vivid and real in your mind. By doing this repeatedly, you start to create a new mental blueprint. Your subconscious treats this mental rehearsal as reality, wiring new pathways that support the outcome you visualized. This is why successful athletes, performers, and leaders often swear by the power of visualization. It primes the mind for success and aligns it with the desired result. Now, think about the implications of these practices. If particles in a quantum system respond to observation and the subconscious mirrors this by responding to intention, then your inner state could be quietly shaping the reality you observe. Through meditation, visualization, and intentional focus, your subconscious isn't just reacting to the world around you, it's helping create it. What might happen if you took control and aligned your subconscious programs with your highest aspirations? The possibilities are profound. And to do that, we'll need a clear set of techniques to strengthen this connection between your inner world and the quantum field. How do you tap into the quantum field to consciously shape your reality? It starts with understanding that your mind and heart act much like a tuning device. Just as a radio needs to be set to the right frequency to pick up a clear signal, your consciousness also operates on frequencies powered by your thoughts and emotions. But here's the key. It's not enough to simply think about what you want. You need emotional harmony to truly connect with the quantum field. Scientists and researchers, including those at the HeartMath Institute, have discovered that the electromagnetic field produced by the heart plays a major role here. Surprisingly, this field is not just stronger than the brain's, it extends far beyond the body, creating a kind of energy bridge between you and the world around you. Researchers describe a state called heart-brain coherence, where your thoughts and emotions work in unison, creating harmony. This state is most easily reached when you feel elevated emotions like love, gratitude, or compassion. These feelings actually change the rhythm of your heartbeats, creating balance and resonance in your electromagnetic field. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that this harmony allows you to access the quantum field more directly, becoming an active participant in universal entanglement. Let's break that down into a practical exercise. One simple way to achieve this coherence is to focus your attention on your heart. Begin by closing your eyes, taking slow, steady breaths, and placing your hand over your chest. Then, consciously generate a feeling of gratitude, not just thinking about being thankful, but really feeling it in your body. You might imagine a moment that filled you with joy or appreciation, like spending time with a loved one or being surrounded by natural beauty. This practice does more than calm your mind. It shifts your energy field, aligning your inner state with the subtle frequencies of the quantum realm. Why is this important for creating the life you want? Well, emotions carry vibrational signals. And when those signals match your intentions, they amplify your ability to influence the quantum field. But if you feel doubt, frustration, or fear while trying to manifest something, it's like sending mixed signals to the universe. For instance, imagine trying to tune a radio station, but constantly switching channels. What you get is static, not clarity. Achieving heart-brain coherence eliminates that static, fine-tuning your energy to resonate with the outcomes you desire. Another critical practice in shaping reality is visualization. Visualization isn't just about seeing a goal. It's about experiencing it fully as though it's already happened. Close your eyes and picture the details of a specific outcome. If your goal is, say, a new career opportunity, imagine everything about it: the room where you work, the conversations you have, the sense of satisfaction in achieving it. Engage all your senses: the smell of fresh coffee, the sound of your computer keys, the emotions that come with it. The more real you make it in your mind, the stronger the signal you send to your subconscious and the quantum field. You're not just daydreaming, you're programming your reality. Gratitude can also amplify this process. While visualizing, feel thankful, not just for what you have now, but for the outcome you're creating. Researchers have shown that gratitude flips your focus from scarcity to abundance. In doing so, you signal to the universe that you're ready to receive more of what you're emotionally connecting with. As Dr. Joe Dispenza puts it, this practice creates a positive feedback loop, where heightened emotion reinforces the clarity of your intention. These techniques, heart-focused coherence and vivid visualization, work best when practiced consistently. They may feel subtle at first, but over time, they build a powerful momentum. Each moment you spend in a state of alignment strengthens your connection to the quantum field and reinforces the reality you're shaping. The process isn't instantaneous, but the changes are real. Patterns shift, opportunities emerge, synchronicities appear. You begin to notice that your internal world reflects outwardly in ways you might never have expected. The universe isn't separate from you, it's responding to you. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel sends ripples through the quantum field, shaping the fabric of your reality. Start today by practicing small, consistent rituals to align with this power. Techniques like meditation, visualization, and gratitude can reprogram your subconscious and shift your vibrational field, as researchers have shown. Remember, thoughtful. Reality isn't something you observe, it's something you activate. By dedicating just a few minutes a day to these practices, you begin unlocking the hidden energy within you. The question is, will you take the first step?